broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Our finale is set. We have our final four. If you asked us at the beginning of the season, would this be the final four? We probably all would have said no. But we're going to break down this episode tonight with a very, very special guest in studio. Welcome to AfterBuzz. Tough enough, everybody. You're watching live on AfterBuzzTV.com. Of course, the YouTube AfterBuzz page. Listen on iTunes, SoundCloud. Giving that 5 stars. I am Christian Rosenberg. Follow me on Twitter at Real Rosenberg, Instagram at The Real Rosenberg. Buy this awesome shirt at ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. Next to me, full crew here tonight at Chris Reports, Miss Christy Olsen.
Hello, hello.
Over
Hello.
on the other side of the table with Booker T's biography this week.
Yeah, I finished. I'll introduce myself. Thank you.
Oh, sure, fine.
My name is
I won't
George
do my
Hermosa.
job.
You can follow me at G Hermosa. I figure I'm going to start just plugging the books. Last week it was Daniel Bryan's Yes book. This week is Booker T from Prison to Promise. It's actually a really good book.
Does Lita have a book? Lita probably has a book.
Yes,
She has
Lita
a book.
has a book.
I
Yes.
think her book is amazing too. But I like this book. And going out to like a freaking
Yeah,
circle,
and they
whatever,
don't
a
pay
book
you to
club.
plug it.
A book club, yeah, they don't pay me anyways. But anybody who's a fan of Booker T, I guarantee you, reading this book will give you a whole new perspective because this is pre-wrestling. So the guy's had a rough upbringing, so it kind of makes you respect him even more to see where he's turned out from. But yes, at G Hermosa, George Hermosa, road to 300 followers. I got 276 followers. 300.
He's so close.
24
so
more.
close.
24 more.
300 followers.
And then the road to 400 followers begins.
Oh, God. Thank you for saying hi. What
up?
At the other side of the table, at Steve
do have
Kaufman.
a star of the show.
It's Steve
we'd like to
Kaufman.
speak at
I
some time.
am, in fact, Steve Kaufman.
You are. This is true.
That's all I had.
And
He spoke enough for this side of the table.
And normally that's all the introductions we would make, but we got a special guest in studio tonight. You've seen him on Tough Enough, the big man, the Egyptian at Tough Mada. Mada in studio, everybody.
You forgot the Pharaoh.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
The
it.
Pharaoh.
Yes,
Pharaoh.
he is the Pharaoh, the king of the ring. We absolutely loved it. We talked a little bit on the phone about it, how that one episode when you dressed up as the Pharaoh when you got King of the Ring, because we're all just thinking, oh, go royalty, go like just a crown and all that stuff. But you turn it, and I think I can speak for all of us. That was a really big turning point for us, for you. Like, oh wait, this guy's got something going here.
Yeah.
Besides the big look, he's actually got some ideas.
Yeah, it was a great turning point, not just for the audience just to see me, who I am, but for me, just walking out and for that entrance and feeling what everybody saw. The looks in Lita's eyes, Booker T's eyes, Billy Gunn's eyes. I was like, wow, I wish there was 25,000 people in that arena that day because I felt it. And it was a high. It was the adrenaline rush you get, and I can't wait to be back in that ring.
Now you're addicted.
Yeah, it is an addiction. It's a drug.
I've been around it for almost 10 years now, and I get just as excited every time I'm around the ring.
Yeah, definitely.
And what has been like, since obviously now you've had some time off, you were traveling a little bit, visited some family, just came recently back home.
Yeah.
How much ring time have you gotten? Because I know you met up with Patrick.
You actually had a match, right? A 6-man tag with him.
Wow.
I was expecting to show up and start training, and he's like, "Yeah, we have a six-man tag team matchup coming up, and we're 1 man down, so you're in." So I was like, "Let's go!" And we had a blast. It was me, Patrick, another guy, and we killed it. Definitely had some fun. And as soon as I got back into town, I've been training with Brian Kendrick every day, and he's a great coach, amazing guy, and I'm learning so much from him. I'm a sponge right now. I'm soaking it all in, and he's very knowledgeable, and he gives us little homework to do every night and sort of matches to watch from history and from current time, and just learning from him is definitely helping me a lot.
We literally just spoke on the phone with him like half an hour ago. We actually had some very nice things to say about you. He just, as far as your presence goes, he definitely said it. He's like, man, just when I locked up with him, this is him saying, obviously, I never locked up with you, obviously, but him saying like when I locked him with it was just wow, like main eventer just right away. I mean,
intensity was the word that he used for you.
Yeah. He did mention that a couple of times, and it's just it's humbling hearing that from people like him and others such as Booker T. The great words they said about me, and it's definitely a blessing. It makes me want to work even harder. It motivates me even more.
Speaking of, getting good feedback and praising. George, we need to bring this up because last week I got a chance to speak with Gigi after she got eliminated. Ooh. And per your request, I honored your request, and I asked her out on your behalf, which of course is always a very smooth thing to do to begin with. What surprised me the most is she did not immediately hang up once I did that. She actually said, if you fly to Australia, she'll go out to dinner with you.
This is literally me, because I'm watching it, right? I'm watching it on my phone. I'm like, okay, wait, he's really going to ask. No way! Oh my God! No, let me text him right now. I literally texted him.
I literally, before I left the studio, I had text from him.
You can find it on Twitter too. He literally screenshot on Twitter. I literally put OMG and I spelled out OHEMGEE. So I spelled out OMG and said, I am totally buying a plane ticket to Australia right now. I'm not even going to lie. You can look it up. It's on there.
So when do you leave?
After the finale.
What I want to know, Mada, who has better game, Tanner or George?
Ooh. Everybody's got better game than Tanner. So I gotta go with my man Creepy George right there.
The hashtag Creepy George continues.
Hashtag Creepy George, everybody.
I got a date.
Even Mada knows. Well, that's a perfect segue to the one and only juicy question that I wanted to ask you, which is, have there been any hookups at the barracks that we aren't privy to?
Surprisingly, no.
None?
Yeah. I mean, I'm married. Josh is engaged. Tanner was the only one, kind of desperate to hook up with kind of anybody.
I like how you use the word desperate.
ZZ was desperate too. He had a sly way of doing it. He was the cuddle king, so he would cuddle with the girls and kind of try to sneak up on them.
Really?
When they weren't looking. But yeah, the girls would just
wait. When they weren't looking.
Yeah, it's funny. One time he was cuddling with I don't know who, and all you hear is ZZ, stop it. Me and Josh are just dying, And me and Josh, we used to scare the girls so bad every night. We'd sneak out back and start knocking on the doors, and the girls would freak out and run to security. It was hilarious.
That's funny.
Me and him were like the prank
Is that what you want to hear, Christy?
I was just going to say, maybe you guys have some wrestling questions, but that's the good stuff.
No, that's all we had. We're all out of time. That's well. Let's get into the actual episode, but we'll be actually picking your brain throughout this as well. Yeah. So right away we find out what we kind of figured last week, but we officially got the word that neither Amanda nor Sarah would be in the bottom three tonight. So solely just the guys, and we're going to have 2 and 2. My question is, obviously we're going to break down the episode a little later on, but if they didn't have that rule, do you think either or both of the girls would have been in the bottom 3 this week? Because I think Sarah would have.
It's so hard to tell with her because everyone just loves her so much no matter what she does. It literally makes no difference what her performance is. Yeah. So it'd be hard to judge that because we don't know.
It really doesn't matter with her and ZZ too. It doesn't matter. They're fan favorites. They're gonna
Why? Why are they so loved?
That's the question of the century.
Because I perfectly get it from episode 1. I'm like, oh, these guys are so lovable. ZZ came across as such, like you said, a cuddly character. But over time, I'm sure we all felt the same. Where I was like, dude, I'm kind of over this guy. Great guy. I'm sure great human being.
Yeah.
Nothing taken away from that. But especially in Tough Talk, Daniel Bryan kind of broke it down the best. So all you people watch Tough Talk, because I don't want to repeat it. But yeah, just over time, I'm like, I'd rather see the guys that work hard, that are in the gym every single day, and making progress. And again, I guess I'm the only one as far as the big audience goes because they're still voting for ZZ.
I think there's a pretty decent concerted effort that are just trying to troll the show. That aren't even watching the show but are still voting for ZZ. I think that's a lot of people.
Like they downloaded the app the first day, they watched the first week,
They wait
maybe
for
the
that
first
alert.
few weeks, and now they see it coming. They're like, oh yeah, ZZ, I remember him, I liked him.
And they're either
Maybe
trolling
right.
the show or they're fans of ZZ and still don't watch the show. Because I'm to a point where I think anyone who's watching the show wouldn't be voting for ZZ.
But at the same time, though, I mean, you have somebody like Josh who, the 2 times he's been on the bottom 3 with ZZ, he's gotten more votes than ZZ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
which we're going to get into that later on tonight. But we get to the barracks after Gigi's elimination, where, then she started making her date plans with George, trying to find out what she's going to wear when he flies out there.
She doesn't need to wear anything, trust me.
Okay, that got weird.
That got creepy.
Thank you. Thank you. Mada might take your place for good at George. I know we only got one more episode after this, but... So Amanda's playing mind games with Sarah. And again, this is just Amanda being, herself. She's like, how many times am I been in the bottom 3? How many times have you been in the bottom 3? But the only reason she's still on the show is because Miz got creepy George on her and saved her. So it's just like, why? Why do we have this?
But why does Amanda think that getting in Sarah's head is going to help her win fan votes? Because that's what it'll come down to win the contest. So I found that whole interview and segment a little weird.
Yeah, maybe she didn't understand the fact that, oh wait, you can't be in the bottom 3 this week. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it was more unlikability from Amanda. And I think that, thank you, George.
It's annoying.
It is annoying.
There's a little fly flying around us right now that George is trying to beat up and failing at.
And I think we keep waiting for her to figure out that she needs to stop saying these kinds of things on camera for the people to like her, for her to get the votes. But I have to say, at the beginning of this episode, I really was hating on her. I was like, oh, there she goes again with the same stuff. By the end, and this is kind of what I said last week, I feel like she's been just sort of playing this mean girl, B-word, I'm hot and you love to hate me kind of character, because we've seen it develop more throughout the episodes. And I don't think it was her coming out. I think it was her giving more of what she felt like was working. So the beginning, yes, she was being very terrible, but then she explained at the end of the show that she's just playing a character.
But I mean, when you're on a show, if you're on a show where you have to not rely on fan voting, yeah, maybe that will work, but I mean, you're trying to get the audience to love you. Mm-hmm. It's not. I mean, to me, it's not working.
Well, and she did say on Tough Talk she can turn it on and off, so she should probably turn it off and then.
Well, let's ask a man who hung out with her when the cameras were off. Is that her regular character, or did she kind of flip it on and off, or is there someone in the house that whatever they do on camera is how they are 24? When the cameras are on.
No, Amanda's actually a great person, very nice. I think she's just turning it on and off, trying to get into Sarah's head. But again, it's not going to go anywhere, because what Sarah does in the ring is not going to determine the fan voting. She needs to focus on getting as many fans as possible, getting the WWE Universe to love her. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with Sarah. And it's the same with Josh coming up against ZZ. If for him to win, he's going to win over the WWE Universe. It doesn't matter what ZZ does or what he does in the ring. At the end of the day, fans are going to vote for who they like most. So if you want to win this show, you have to get the most fans to vote for you.
Mm.
How do you feel about that?
It's funny. I just had an interview with Booker T last week.
On his Heated Conversations podcast?
Yeah, did you get to listen to that?
I haven't gotten to listen to that one yet.
It was an awesome episode, and he actually talked about the voting system being flawed. Where he doesn't like the whole, fans vote for the person going going home. He wants the judges to pick the bottom, the fans to vote for the bottom 3, and then the judges to send home somebody.
Perfect.
That's good.
Because the challenges, as we've seen, and case in point tonight, don't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you win challenge. You won plenty of challenges. Gigi won all the challenges for the women.
Every single one.
So it's like, what is the point of these challenges if they don't grant you immunity or whatever?
He also
it may
brought
be.
up the fact that the trainers should be the judges too, because the judges don't know the reality of things. They don't see the work ethic that ZZ puts through. They only see a 20, 30, 40-minute segment. So it's hard for them to judge us on that short segment, where Lita, Booker, and Billy Gunn, they know a lot more than the judges, and I think they would judge us a lot more accurately.
By the way, in the chat, Sylvia Love was asking us if you can speak a little Arabic because she wants to hear you speak Arabic for some reason.
Yeah.
Her voicemail, her outgoing message, maybe.
Just say like, "Welcome to AfterBuzz TV," or introduce yourself.
With that type of attitude.
اهلا وسهلا احنا مع افتر باز تي في وانا حماده وان شاء الله انا هبقى في الدبليو دبليو اي قريب.
Yes.
I heard WWE.
Do you speak more than 2 languages? English
No,
and Arabic? Just English and Arabic?
So, the word of the week, guys, because we have a word every week, remember. This week, it's discipline. It's not Pee-wee's Playhouse. Stop it.
No, that's the running gag. We do that it would be...
I'm explaining it to Mada,
I know.
because he would be like, why did he just randomly scream?
That's, in Pee-wee's Playhouse, it's the word of the day. Every time someone says the word of the day, you scream. So
the word of the day is discipline. Stop it. And every week I tell them to stop. So, first thing they got to do is put the NXT ring together at Full Sail University with help of the NXT crew.
Oh, that was so dumb.
I disagree completely. I 100% disagree.
Okay, no, but that's okay. Tell me why that's important.
Building a ring is very important to kind of learn the camaraderie. I've built several rings. The referees at all the WWE events are really kind of the ones in charge of putting the rings together. It's a lot of work, and you got to make sure that's proper. And it's part of what they would call in the business paying your dues. Like, you got to do kind of all like the labor stuff. So I know, like, my first couple years, I would always have to help build the ring together, help with camera work, just help. I remember having wrestlers ask me to go to the bar to get them drinks because I'm the new guy, so I got to go grab the stuff for them. And then I got yelled at because I forgot a straw one time. That is an actual true story.
While illegally taking alcohol out of bars.
Well, the venue was connected to a bar.
Oh,
and everything. Yeah, it was one of those places. But it's a very important part of working your way up and building the respect of your peers.
Okay.
That said, I think they should have been doing that this whole time.
Yeah.
Like that would have.
Yes.
Yeah.
But how often were you really in the performance center?
Not enough. If you ask me, we were training once, maybe twice a week, and not extensively. I even asked the coaches privately. I wanted to get into the ring more and get better. I'm a gym rat. I stay in it. I play.
Could not tell.
Yeah, I know I need to work on these guns a little bit. But when I played pro basketball, I was in the gym 7-8 hours a day because it was my job. And for me, this is my new chapter of my life, and I want to be the best I can be. And I wanted to get in the gym, the performance center, as much as I could, but we couldn't do that, which was unfortunate because we lived right next to it practically.
Yeah, you're literally like next door to it, but they wouldn't let you in.
No, we have to have coaches there and legal issues and everything like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What else I find crazy is this week the quote-unquote challenge, even though not really much of a challenge, is they're all coming up with finishers. They have yet to learn how to throw punches.
Yeah.
But we are learning finishing moves.
Well, next week they're going to design their T-shirt. We're going to put their Titantron together. We're just going to skip the basics completely.
We have lockup, shoulder tackles, hip toss, body slam, finisher. That's all you need in the match. That's it.
All you need.
So each one meets individually with the trainers. So Sarah goes first. She has this Russian leg sweep, judo armbar.
Well, first
combo.
off, they asked her, "What do you want your finisher to be?" And she's like, I guess as if she's never thought about it. Obviously, if you ever want to aspire to be a wrestler,
She doesn't know any wrestling moves.
But that's got to be on the back of your mind, though.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
it just has to be. I can already think of my finishing move.
What would be
as
your
it is.
finishing move?
A 450 splash. Were you not there earlier?
No, we're gonna get
That's
there
not in
earlier
the
today.
clip. That's not in the clip, but
Okay.
Yeah.
A double moonsault, like Ricochet.
A double moonsault.
Have you seen the Ricochet hit that
I
move?
have, and
That
there's
is
no one else that
amazing.
can do it. Mada,
true.
what is your finishing move, or what would you
I'm gonna
want?
call
Your...
mine Creepy George.
I like it. I like it. And it should just be a stare. Like, shouldn't even touch them. There it is. Meme that right now. Somebody meme that.
Creepy George.
Oh my God.
Got me feeling some type of way.
Yeah, some type of way.
What you guys did not see was George just tapped out.
Okay,
Creepy
you
George.
win.
he's done.
He's done.
Tapped out with both hands.
Like
So
you
yeah,
take this
Sarah
song.
had no idea what to say. Lita was just like, well, who's the toughest, most popular female athlete right now? And I feel like they had to cut to tell Sarah that it was Ronda Rousey.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know Sarah. She didn't know that.
She didn't know that. Does she follow any sports?
I don't think so.
No.
She's
Apparently quite the ring rat, so we know she follows
Oh, that was.
Those are
that's
Mando's
for-
words, not mine.
That's on Tough Talk, and
Yeah.
I've only heard snippets of that, so I don't know how much we can discuss about that.
Are you a ring rat if you're in a serious relationship with a wrestler?
You
Is
can
that what
be.
makes you a ring rat?
You can be. I mean, anyway.
Hey,
You'd think she'd know more dating a wrestler too. Like, I mean, really? Like, my wife knows a lot about wrestling now. She probably knows more than Sarah does. I'm practicing my moves at home on my wife, throwing her on the bed.
That's funny.
what?
But
Again,
yes.
again, I got to back you up. So you're practicing your moves on your wife.
That's an adult show. I can't say.
Got it.
that.
Got it. Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, that's not PG. But yes, Sarah and Zizi were known at the barracks as the dorks. That's what we referred to them as. So we
The
had,
dorks?
Yeah. So like me, Josh, Tanner, Amanda, and Gigi, we had a group text going. And though they were not on a group text, and they were like, "Oh man, I'm stuck with the dorks right now."
So Sarah eventually, over time, gets this combination down. It felt like, I mean, again, it's how the cameras show it on TV, but it felt like she took the longest to figure this out of anyone for their finishers. Tanner, all right, you want to fly. Smart, because you're the one athletic one. You should go off top rope, no problem. Flying cross body, let's do it. He physically does it fine. Then there's that whole, oh yeah, remember, you got to show charisma. You got to make facial expressions.
Look like a guy angry enough with another guy to jump off the top rope and hit him. Like, just be that guy.
You ask him to be happy. You ask him to be sad. You ask him to be angry. You ask him to be excited. You ask him to be anxious. You ask him to be stressed. He looks the freaking same. Was that a chuckle? What was that?
That was a chuckle.
Oh,
That was a
I
chuckle.
thought you were coughing up a hairball or something. What was that?
Just a chuckle.
Okay. I mean, so like the only way to make him do anything with his face is to make him scream. And then he's like, ah! Back to normal.
Yes, yeah. It's bad. I mean, I gotta give it to him. I call him the Energizer Bunny. I've never seen him tired in my life. The dude can just work out. Freak athlete. But when it comes to personality, it's not there. I mean, my baby's got more personality than him right now. Like, at least he could scream, right? Like, I mean, give me a scream. Ah! Give me a real scream. I want to feel it.
I just got terrified.
George
Like,
tapped out again.
that's a real scream, you know. And it's like, it's bad. It's like almost embarrassing to watch it. He's at home, like, practicing in the mirror. I'm like, I don't think he can move his face, or I don't know, something.
So who's got better promo skills, your baby or Tanner?
Oh, my baby. My baby can kill him right now. My baby's got game. He's got those baby Pharaoh jeans.
Ah, there it is. We get to Josh. Josh wants to do a power bomb, but you haven't learned how to throw a punch yet. Why are you going to suddenly do a power bomb? So, but they say, hey, let's do a running power slam, a la Davey Boy Smith style. And it suits him fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that one, I'm like, okay, I can see him doing that as finisher. That works.
When they kind of started off with like an avalanche kind of
Like run and splash.
Yeah.
with
him
turnbuckle.
doing the Yeti call, which is brilliant, by the way, to do that before a move. Very reminiscent of the Titus O'Neil, the you know. And obviously, with things like that, he's got the whole crowd doing it. So enter Yeti, something that they can get the crowd involved as well. So I thought it was brilliant.
How often did he do the damn Yeti call in the barracks? Even with the cameras off?
All day, every day. That was his thing.
That's got to get annoying.
I think that's his first language. Like, that's how he talks.
Amanda learns what Bo Dallas's finishing move is, like the running bulldog off the second rope, and she actually does, a fairly good job with that. The one thing she was talking about, this move, really shows my personality and who I am. How does a bulldog show your personality? She did it well. She performed it well. She presented herself well. All that's good. How the hell does it present her personality?
Well, she was talking about wanting to be flashy, so I think she maybe feels that a move that's that involved is pretty flashy. It's a flashy move.
Yeah,
It's a flashy move when Bo Dallas already does it.
I was surprised. She actually did pretty well with that move.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Billy Gunn was surprised. He's like, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And finally, ZZ. I forgot to mention earlier. Tonight was the night of ZZ quotes.
Oh man. Hashtag ZZ quotes.
Yeah. At the beginning of the show, we heard, "Don't broke what ain't fixed." That was said by a guy that's in the freaking finale. And then during this, he's talking about, having ideas to do the certain moves, and he's talking with the coaches, and they're talking about, are you able to do this type of stuff? And he says, I can do it. I just haven't figured out how.
I caught that one.
Guys, I could be a billionaire. I just haven't figured out how. I'm going to get there. I can do this.
Oh, man.
Once you figure out how.
Can someone tell me?
You got a better chance of becoming a billionaire than ZZ is becoming a WWE superstar.
Yeah, you were, when I spoke with you a couple weeks ago on the phone, you weren't too happy about ZZ still being there. I mean, have you talked with him at all since you've left?
Nah, I haven't. I've only talked to really Josh and Tanner a little bit and Gigi and Amanda, but I was nothing against ZZ. He's a great guy, great soul, kind-hearted. I love him like a little brother. But towards the end, especially when everybody started getting at him for not being in shape, he started, fake workout videos and fake diet. And we know off camera he wasn't doing any of that. He's sitting there on a couch doing this as an exercise, thinking this is going to get him in shape to be a WWE superstar. And to me, that was disrespectful because I'm in a gym busting my butt every day, day in, day out, until I almost throw up every single day. It's, for me and Josh, we know the work it takes to become a professional athlete because we've been there before. He doesn't understand, it's a different animal. And once he started, faking these workout videos, and it was the day after the night of Patrick's elimination. He was very upset and he felt guilty because he's very close to Patrick. And he knew that basically he single-handedly, got Patrick eliminated. And he told me, this is off camera, that, he really didn't want the WWE. He didn't really care about it. It's just another show for him. And he really felt guilty about Patrick. And, I kind of, he confided in me. So, I kind of kept it to myself. But as it went along, it just showed like he didn't want this. He was just there, as a reality show. He's already done 2 before this. His family's done more. So that's what's sad to see. If he was just out of shape and trying, then I wouldn't say anything. At the end of the day, we're all trying. But at least give 110% effort. And he's definitely not giving the effort. It's sad to see that he's in the final today, giving 0 effort.
What is the big difference for you being, like a former, basketball player and thing? What's the preparing for a big basketball game and preparing for a wrestling match? Obviously, they're 2 completely different sports.
Yeah.
But what are the key differences physically that you got to deal with? Besides obviously falling down a lot.
To me, it's all mental, and it's having that switch. And all great athletes have that switch and being calm, whatever you do before a match or a game, but all of a sudden you can turn that switch on and you go to that next level. And great players, great athletes kind of get better as the game goes on. And you notice, The Rock, right before he's about to hit you with that finisher, the crowd's excited and it's electrifying, and he just gets this buzz of energy, this look in his eye, and you can sense it, you can feel it. And it's the same with Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. All great athletes have this one trait. And for me, it's all mental. It's all up here. This is what makes you a great athlete, and not just a great athlete, but to be successful in life, it's all up here. But physically, it's definitely different than basketball. The physical demands of the WWE are grueling and definitely different. But to me, I picked it up very fast because of, I played a lot of sports growing up. I played rugby, basketball, soccer. So I think that helped me with my transition.
Well, back to ZZ, kind of talking about his finishing move. Now, to his credit, he had an idea. Mm-hmm. And, kind of not really a camel clutch per se, but kind of a variation of the move. And they all seem to like it. It's just a matter of him kind of learning the preparation of hitting the flapjack to get into that. And here's what I want to know. So they worked on him a little bit. Wouldn't the point of this then getting the chance to perform them
in front of people?
In front of somebody?
Yeah,
maybe on live TV?
Interesting concept, Christian.
I was like, okay, they're getting an idea. Go in the back, keep practicing it. Okay, what are we going to bring some people in there, and they're going to have like another one of those mini matches like they had last week, and then this time they'll hit your finishing move. No, we didn't have any after this.
That was a weird challenge day.
Because nobody won.
Yeah, that wasn't...
Everybody just kind of got to work on a finishing move.
Yeah.
That they can use.
I was waiting for them to actually use it, and I was like...
Yeah, like, where they're like...
I guess they're setting it up for next week.
Hopefully.
No.
Because it was clearly last Wednesday they had an NXT taping.
Yeah.
So it was clearly last Wednesday that I was like, oh, they're going to have them work on the finishing move all day, and then in, like, a dark match in front of people...
Yeah.
They're going to have them all come out and do this finisher. Nope.
Yeah.
No, like, you're going to work on a finisher on that and go back to the barracks, have some drama.
Well, when they're back in the barracks, they're talking about what we're going to name our finishing moves. Because it's true, all the finishing moves, they need some type of name that, that the WWE Universe can relate to when they're cheering you on. I don't even remember what Josh said for his, but it was...
I can't even pronounce it.
Abominable.
The
abominable abdomen.
Abdomen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was something along those
Michael
lines.
Cole can't say it.
It's like when he, in his promo against me, what was that word he used? They couldn't even spell it. Esophagus, something like that.
Oh, that's right. When he pretended to be British again?
Yeah.
Esophagus.
Oh, God. Was it esophagus?
Sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. And then we get one more, or we get the beginning of a couple more ZZ-isms from this evening.
Of course.
They're talking around there, and he says, I am what this business is. Who wants to take that one first? Anyone?
Chris, I've been saying, let's vote for ZZ. In the people you like in this show, their badge of honor will be not winning.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I've seen this, and this kind of proves it.
Yeah.
That ZZ's the best reality star, the best reality competition show star, and this may or may not be something he actually wants.
Yeah.
And his understanding of the business is this reality show.
Yes.
Because he is the whole package for this format of Tough Enough, which... Man, how quickly would Austin have thrown him out if this were 2011? If this were the 2011 Tough Enough where Austin was just king?
I wish he was there.
12 minutes.
12 minutes?
12 minutes.
You're giving him the first segment of the show?
The first segment of the show.
I don't
Austin
think he
would
would
have
even
him-
last that long.
Austin would have him run the
He might
ropes.
need a break in between. Like he said,
Yeah, he needed a break when practicing his match or whatever a week or two ago.
I need a 5 to 10 minute break.
Yeah. Well, there's halftime in wrestling matches, right?
Totally. You can,
There's quarters, right? You
well, you get 3 timeouts
Must be
per
watching-
half.
Must be watching British wrestling.
Yeah. That's Cajun wrestling. Crocodiles or alligators or whatever it is.
And then our final ZZ-ism of the night is Amanda visits ZZ in his room, which who knows why.
I have a theory, but go on.
All right, well,
They live in the same room.
Oh, do they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
ZZ
the reason
stuck up in
then.
there. He was in there with Gigi, Amanda. He was
Oh,
when
that's
when
right. They
Diana
made that
was-
switch.
he was doing well for himself.
When
Oh, okay,
Diana-
that's right. I
Diana
forgot about
switched
that. They
Yeah.
made that switch.
Creepy George right now is like, this son of a...
I know, he steals my moves. Lucky bastard.
Well, when you leave for Australia?
Next Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
I gotta do the finale for the show.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so
out,
Amanda asks him. ZZ's writing in a book or something. Amanda asks him, "What are you doing?" ZZ replies by saying, "Trying to captivate the hearts of America." I will open the floor once again.
Where does he come up with
I
this
don't
stuff?
know.
Who talks like that?
You lived with him for several weeks.
Oh,
How?
sorry.
What? How?
This is not even new. Everything that came out of his mouth was like, everybody's like looking around, like either you couldn't understand him or like, where do you come up with this? Like, really? Yeah, I that's probably a big reason why a lot of people vote for him, is little stuff like that. It's like, it's funny. You know, you're laughing. I don't know if they're laughing at him or with him, but a lot of people vote for that. And one thing is it's very relatable to the average person. It looks like, hey, if he can do it, I can do it too. And it's an underdog story. Nobody roots for Goliath. You know, people are going to always root for David. So he's got that going for him.
I think that's what we're learning about this fan vote.
Yeah.
Is that you're leaving it open for people to literally troll your show.
Yeah.
And like, it's ZZ of it all.
So then we get over to the judges. You know, they're kind of doing a talk. The main highlight to me was the fact that the judges were grilling ZZ some more. There seemed to be an episode of bashing ZZ. And I don't mean to make it sound that way, but that's really how the episode was portrayed this week.
Yeah.
But since we're at the judges, Mada, I do want to ask you, and I'm sure there's only so much that you could say, but I want to know, what was the vibe backstage with the whole Hulk Hogan thing?
It was kind of crazy because it was a shock to all of us.
Sure.
Very disappointing to hear about. But it happened so fast, and we had no idea who was going to be the replacement. So the start was like, oh my God, we're in shock. This just happened. But then it's like, okay, who's going to be the replacement? And there was a lot of names thrown out there, and we didn't know until we actually stepped up on stage who the replacement was going to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And he was a huge supporter of yours. So all of a sudden, when he was gone, were you worried at all? Do you feel like things would have affected you?
Hulk was definitely a huge supporter, and he said like the greatest compliments you could ever give somebody in this industry. He was like, when you came out in the ring entrance, I had flashbacks of headline WrestleMania, and I was just like, oh my God, Hulk Hogan just said that to me. And he would talk to me after every show, and he was a great guy, and very disappointing to see what happened with everything. But when he left, I was like, who's gonna? Because I knew when he was there, like he was gonna save me if somebody did put me in the bottom three, and he always had my back. So when he left, I was like, who's it gonna be? And when I saw Miz, I was like, and the very first episode, Miz decides to put me in the bottom three.
Damn it, Miz!
Don't worry, we weren't happy with him.
Trust me, I'm gonna get my payback one day.
I mean, if it makes you feel
doubt
better,
that.
a lot of the runner-ups of Tough Enough have probably done a lot better than the actual winners themselves.
Including the Miz.
Yeah.
Including Miz, yeah. And Ryback as well.
Yeah.
We get our final pleas, which we knew, again, it was ZZ, Tanner, and Josh that were going to be the bottom three automatically. The only real highlight from this was, for some reason, Josh pulls out a lollipop to pretend to be a microphone, and then gives
Treated
it
the
to
whole
Paige.
thing like it was a joke.
But he put more focus on the lollipop of it all than the actual plea.
Yeah.
He was not at all... I mean,
said
I like
the
the
word
fact that he was
sauce.
not at all... Sauce how many times?
like at least 17.
Yeah, in 30 seconds.
Yeah, and then he said goop. Yeah.
His promo's kind of a little bit out there, but yeah, I mean, his shows is obviously very charismatic. Is he still calling you babe every now and then, or?
No,
Or was that just-
he actually hasn't said that in a while. I think sauce is his new thing.
Yeah.
If you look back, he stopped saying babe, and sauce is like his new thing.
A producer probably told him, was like, you got to stop calling everybody babe.
Yeah.
And he kept, I'm calling everyone sauce.
Sauce.
Well, that plea was sort of the end of the Josh train for me. I've really been supporting him, and I would have voted for him. But when he pulled out that lollipop and made it all sort of seem like a joke, I thought, you know what? Maybe you don't want it that bad.
Does that mean you want ZZ to win?
No, I voted for Tanner tonight.
But now that he's not there,
Well, let's
Spoiler alert.
we're getting into that right now. First off, Dan O'Brien, this was the last week he could have used his save.
But we knew he wasn't going to.
Did not use it at all.
I was surprised.
I honestly thought he was just like, I'm just going to save. He was a big fan of Tanner, like we were talking about. But I thought, I'm just going to save Josh or whatever and have the other two duke it out. But never used a save. No, he felt he wanted the WWE Universe to decide.
he said, I think that they did the right thing. And I don't exactly know what he means by that, because obviously, like I predicted last week, I thought that he was going to save Tanner and leave it up to Josh and ZZ, because they thought that Josh was going to get more votes than him, which he did. Therefore, if you would have used it on Tanner, you actually would have had a good, legitimate final two for the men.
Right, and for the folks out there who maybe don't have the network, on Tough Talk, Daniel Bryan did say that he really, really likes Tanner, and he sounded like Tanner was the one that he was rooting for.
Yeah,
but
so how
Daniel
did he
Bryan
save him?
said that his popularity is because of the people. Daniel Bryan's own popularity is because of the people. So he wanted to put this also in the hands of the people.
So that
which
Daniel
really
Bryan
is just sort of.
Daniel Bryan disagrees with the saves to begin with.
Maybe that's it.
I think that's subtly what it is.
But yeah, so with 20% of the vote, Tanner goes home. Now the interesting thing is Josh did get more votes than ZZ, which is the second time now that he's done that. So how that's going to go into the finals next week, to find out how much that 20% that Tanner had, where are they going to lean those votes to? So Tanner goes home. Tomorrow morning, those of you that want to listen, I will be interviewing Tanner. Give me the hashtag ABTV, ask Tanner. Tweet me questions. I will ask them to him. But before we wrap everything up, because we've been having a blast here and time's already almost up, we need to show just like, a little snippet. Earlier today, Mada. Now I've been around wrestling for almost 10 years now as a commentator, manager, referee. I've taken my share of a few bumps. Obviously, I know I'm not built to be a wrestler, so I just talk. These three lovely people joining me on this table,
Who are also the pay-per-view panel.
who also are pay-per-view panel. Yes, there's a plug for SummerSlam this Sunday night. You can watch these guys talk about the pay-per-view. They love wrestling. They're huge fans of it. They've never really experienced being in it. So it's just like, well, we're talking about Tough Enough, people trying to become the next superstar and diva. We're like, they should try to experience it a little bit. So earlier today, we got up with my good buddy, NXT AfterBuzz host, The Hobo, who is a very accomplished wrestler out here, Mada. You would actually have a blast with him. And he's one of the trainers at the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood Training Center. And we
The Wrestle Center.
What did I say? The Wrestle Center. Excuse me. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood Wrestle Center. And he put him through the ringer. We're going to have the full video next week on the finale. But we wanted to give a little taste of that video today.
I haven't seen this video.
We wanted to give you a few laughs tonight.
George and Christy have not seen this video. But we're gonna show you just a clip of it right now, so you can kind of get a little idea of what the Hobo put them through. So we'll go ahead and we'll roll that right now.
It's gonna be up here.
Why am I looking at the camera?
Oh, we don't get to see it.
That was Christy attempting a back bump.
Go. Getting better. Does it hurt?
How you feeling?
Good. 1, 2, 3, go. Bring yourself.
So you're hearing them take their beatings, which is so much fun to watch.
Nice.
So you're going to see the full thing next week, Mada. We will send you the link of the whole thing because you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch this.
And but before we wrap up, let's do our predictions. Next week's the finale.
Real quick though, you've been training with Brian Kendrick too. I know you're with fellow Tough Enough contestant.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
It's okay. That's supposed to happen.
Fellow Tough Enough contestant.
There's no run-in happening or anything.
With Daria, did you know she was training with Brian Kendrick?
No.
So what was it like seeing you guys there together?
I showed up and I see Daria and I was like, no way. It was like amazing. It was like, because you have this bond with everybody that lived at the house. No matter what, conflicts we had or anything, it's kind of, you're a big family. Because we all went through the same stuff. So seeing Daria was awesome. So getting to train with Brian and having Daria there too was definitely great.
So did WWE hook you up with Brian?
Yeah, they.
Is that how you both ended up there?
Yeah, they definitely linked us up with Brian, and Brian's a great guy, very knowledgeable.
So you're still having communication with the folks from WWE, and your shot is not over.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully hear from them soon. But in the meantime, I'm continuing to train as hard as I can.
Are you going to try to have matches anytime soon, or are you just going to focus on the training?
If one presents itself, definitely having some match experience would definitely help. But training for me right now is priority. Just continuing to work on my ring skills. As well as everything else, promos, and all of that
Now, as a fan, do you have any favorite wrestlers or matches that you from back in the day?
I loved the 3 matches at WrestleMania with The Rock and Stone Cold. Those were, to me, like, amazing. I always loved The Rock growing up. Batista's the guy I looked up to growing up.
You remind me of a Batista.
Yeah. That's the best compliment you can give me.
Oh, well, there you go.
Because growing up, I was fat. I was out of shape, 320 pounds by age of 15. And I looked at Batista, and his body was incredible. I was like, I want to look like that one day. I was sick and tired of people pointing at me and telling me, how bad I looked. I wanted people to point at me and tell me how good I looked. So he was one guy I looked up to, and definitely Booker T, Big Show, Triple H. I loved all those guys, but definitely The Rock and Batista were my favorites growing up.
See, it's funny. Now that you mentioned that, I kind of think about it. I'm like, is that why maybe you kind of look at ZZ and be like, dude, I was once maybe out of shape and whatnot. Yeah. So I know for a fact you can get there if you push yourself. People tell me, I'm sore loser or I'm hating on ZZ. I'm like, no, that's not any. I want people to know the reality that he's not working hard, that he is lazy. And 2, that I was in his shoes one day. I was 320 pounds. I have stretch marks all over my body to prove it. And I know the amount of work and dedication and discipline, as this week's word
of the week.
It takes. When everybody else is eating pizza in front of you, I'm eating chicken and broccoli. You know what I mean? When everybody's sleeping, I'm up working out. My body's taken a beating the last couple of days with Brian. I'm still going. I just got back from the gym right now because I'm continuing to work out and push my body to the absolute limit, and then push it even further because I want to be the best.
And you got like a little like a whole fitness thing as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, my website, madafitness.com, and then all my Facebook, Instagram, Mada Fitness, Twitter's @ToughMada. I love just helping people. That's why I do it. I did personal training, and that's my main goal, is to help people and help give back what I've learned through the years, through my journey.
Beautiful. Real quick, because we got to wrap this up. Let's our predictions. Who's winning? Steve.
ZZ and Sarah.
George.
Josh and Sarah.
Unfortunately, ZZ and Sarah.
I'm saying WWE Universe gets it right in the finale with who's left, and we got Josh and Amanda. Mada, who you picking?
Sarah, definitely for the girls, but it is interesting to see Josh beat ZZ in the voting. So even though I think ZZ might win, I'll give it to Josh. So it's Josh and Sarah.
All right, well, there you have it, and of course we're going to be going over the finale next Tuesday night, and of course the full video of Christy, George, and Steve learn how to wrestle.
I did amazing, by the way.
Well, we'll find out who the hobo picked was tough enough next week. But in the meantime, Steve Kaufman, how can people reach out to you?
People can find me at Steve Kaufman. That's KAUFMANN. I'm doing a lot of shows here, including this Thursday night with Christy Elson.
Yay!
We are doing the SummerSlam weekend pre-show, and then this Sunday with all 3 of us, we will be doing the SummerSlam after show.
That's right. George.
The road to 300 followers. Hashtag road to 300 followers. I got 277 followers. At G Hermosa. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram as well. Do it.
Christy.
Well, I know you all are going to have some reactions to that video, and before you all tweet me at Christy Reports, I invite you to remember that Sarah Lee can't wrestle either, and everyone loves her, so hey,
there you
Christy
go.
Reports.
Christy was trying to ball like a Bella earlier today, and we'll talk about more of that next week.
Christy.
Follow me on Twitter at Ro Rosenberg, Instagram at the Ro Rosenberg, and please help me pay for my damn surgery that I had a few months ago. Buy these shirts, ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg, and one more time, Mada at Tough Mada.
Yeah!
God damn, that's creepy. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Have a blast.
Thank you for being here. Welcome back anytime. Thanks so much for all of you for tuning in this week. For Mada, Steve Kaufman, George Hermosa, and Christy Olsen, I'm Christian
Creepy George in the
Rosenberg.
building.
We will see you later.
Hashtag creepy.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.